Hi, this is Jim Sackman, your Focal Point Business Coach, and this is another one of our video blog series on branding. And again, this week I'm going to talk about your brand message, and I'm going to talk about it a little differently than I have in the past. And really, this is all about your position in the market and where you want to be. We've talked about that a little bit, but I also want to talk about repositioning. And 2 weeks ago, I posted this chart as part of this video blog, and I want to focus on both the left-hand side of the product and, most importantly, in the upper left in this one. In most charts, you'll find it on the bottom left, but that just happens to be the way this one was drawn, and that is the pointless zone. And many people will look at that as low volume, low price products, or low volume, low uniqueness products, just something where there's not going to be a lot of value in any sale, and sales are going to be hard to come by. And in that mode, your business and your brand is essentially challenged. And one of the ways that you can start dealing with this is rethink about your brand and your brand message. As you're one of these companies and that has essentially a low volume, low differentiation brand, then you have to say to yourself, well, where do I want to be? Do I want to be a high volume, low cost provider? Do I want to be a high volume, high price provider, which is where everybody'd love to be, but it's unlikely, or do I want to be a niche business where there's lots of uniqueness, volume is low, but I can charge some differential kind of fees? And this is where your business plan comes in and your unique value proposition. And really, from a brand standpoint, this is where you start when you talk about repositioning out of a pointless or a useless space that your company ends up in. And it can happen even if you've got a great set of businesses and some products, you'll find other products just aren't working, and oftentimes you'll find out they're in this horrible little place. And one place to start is the materials that you give to your customer, the marketing materials about your product. And think about them and look at them and say, how do they line up in one of these quadrants? Are they differentiated or not? How am I describing my differentiation to it? How is that explaining my unique value proposition? And most importantly, how does that value translate to value at the customer? So you've got to look at your unique value proposition, make sure it's being explained by your marketing materials, and see that it has lots of value for your customer, or that they can at least attach the same value to it that you're putting into it. So if you're not producing a highly differentiated product, if you're producing a product with relatively low differentiation, then you can't spend the kind of money or resources, whether that's people or capital, to deliver it that your competitors are. So if you can create a low differentiation product but deliver it in a less costly way, then you can actually make an effective business out of it. But you have to say, that's what I'm going to do. So you can't put a lot of money into a low differentiation product. If you're going to have a highly differentiated product, then you have to know how it's going to compete against other players. So that's a good way to start thinking about your brand message and where your positioning is and how you're positioning it. Is to start looking at your marketing materials and see how they relate to your unique value proposition and your customer. So this is Jim Sackman, your Focal Point Business Coach. Change your business, change your life, and have a great day.